The Quick Diz Takes podcast is a Quick Diz Takes production.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner.
Oh boy. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Quick Diz Takes podcast, another special edition Exploring Disney podcast episode. And today we are honored to be joined by Justin Suiter from the Disney Dads, or Justin Swader, as he told me to call him earlier.
It all works.
The show started. No, but Justin Suiter, and he is on a Disney Dads podcast, as well as a Disney travel agent. Welcome to the show, Justin. And of course, joined today by Mr. John Castano.
Hello.
And Mrs. Sarah Castano, as per usual.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Okay. So I'll give my regular spiel of please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We really appreciate that. And check us out at quickdiztakes.com as well. And without further ado, we will get into today's show. So Johnny had come up with a pretty good idea to kind of get the conversation going. And what we'll do today is we will discuss our top 3 Disney World rides, not specifically our top 3 Disney World rides, although I think it will fall into the same kind of category, or same vein, if you will. However, the top 3 rides that if we could only ride one more time before they were completely shut down, what would they be? And I don't know about you guys, we'll get to you guys in a second, but when I was thinking about this, they didn't necessarily match up because the way Johnny formed this question, there are other iterations of some rides in other parks. So it now becomes which one specific to Disney World would be most important to you. So we'll do a top 3 and we'll start with 3 and work our way down. And we'll start with our guest, Justin, if he doesn't mind.
Yeah, certainly. I tell you what, I think I missed the introduction. Everybody said, hey, but my screen froze up. So I'm hardwired now. We're ready to roll. Sorry about that. So thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yep.
Absolutely a pleasure. And I am so excited to be here. When you guys told me this topic, I got a little nervous because I got to tell you, this is like picking your favorite kids, like at the end of the world. Like you're like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? So I came at this a little bit differently. And I picked out a favorite. I picked out a fun one, and I picked out an iconic one. So I'm going to start with my favorite, because why not? That's where I go first whenever I get to the Magic Kingdom. And sadly enough, this attraction is going. It's going to be redone, and that's Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain, for me, holds so many memories throughout my entire childhood as I would come to the Magic Kingdom and then growing up and have a family as my own. It's absolutely my favorite attraction. It's the only attraction that I like better in Walt Disney World than I do in Disneyland, which is odd, you know, but I absolutely think it's so much better in Disney World. If I had to pick one, it would definitely be Splash Mountain for me, jumping over there and riding that log flume into the Briar Patch and saying hello to my good friends, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, and Brer Rabbit.
Yes, and it's very depressing to think. I mean, I'm glad that Princess and the Frog is coming. Is it one of those Catch-22 things? Right?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's gonna be a unique thing to get used to. The only thing I can equate it to is like if you've lived in the same house your entire life, right? And all of a sudden you walk in one day and all your walls are painted purple. I like the color purple a lot. I mean, it's my kid's favorite color. But it would take me some time to get used to it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for something new, but it is going to be a little bit of a process. But I was the person, Tim, at the front of the Magic Kingdom in a picket line when Wishes went away. And then the first time I saw Happily Ever After, I was tears flowing as I held my daughter. You know, I'm like, happily, yeah, like just singing. So yeah, man.
It's funny that there were actually people like that when that changed over, but Happily Ever After is just get sidetracked for a second. Isn't it amazing? The song for Happily Ever After is probably the first show song that's really like sticks into my head even when I'm home. No, Sarah, you have one as well?
I have the song from the Millennium Celebration at Epcot.
Okay, I know where you're at. Yeah.
Okay.
On repeat.
I know how you say it. Yeah.
Always.
No kidding.
Always.
Okay. All right. I thought, I thought it was on to something with happily ever after, but I'm.
Everything's
I like
yeah,
no, I'm with you, Tim. I'm still on happily ever
Yeah,
after.
happily
So.
ever after is good.
I'm still stuck in the Millennium Celebration. Sorry, I'm not there yet, guys.
Like my daughter literally knows the words to that song and like sings it, and
It's because you're a good parent.
yeah.
Well, they also
Thank
do
you.
play. Don't they usually they play like the making of that on like the Magical Express?
Yes.
Don't they do it? So you see
Mhm.
like it kind of gets in your mind right when you get on the thing.
I don't know. I don't ride
Oh,
the
yeah,
Magical
that's right, you
Express.
drive. Yeah, that's
So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get that fun little experience. Yeah, I need to check it out. So
Well, it's going away soon, so
I
hurry
was
up.
gonna say, pretty soon nobody.
maybe I'll
riding
just
it.
maybe I'll just jump on one here. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
down there next month, so maybe I just jump on, and check it out.
All right, Sarah, why don't you give us your number 3?
So my number 3 is actually Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. I love Aerosmith. I like the music, but the reason I picked that is a little sentimental. Rock and Roller Coaster was my first upside down roller coaster, and that was a big thing for me. But that I would keep that one purely, or not keep it, but I would go on that purely for sentimental reasons, as it was my first upside down roller coaster.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What would you think if they got rid of Aerosmith? Would this stay in your top 3?
If the track and everything else, they just changed
Everything's the same.
soundtrack. Yeah.
Everything's the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Aerosmith.
Oh, I do too. It was my
But
first big
we need an
concert.
update
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, we need an update on it.
Yeah. I feel you though, because that was my kid's first upside down roller coaster.
Yeah.
So
So
it's a good
me
one.
and your small child have a lot in common already.
Well,
Justin.
the
We're
problem was I didn't hit a growth spurt until I was like 16, so I couldn't ride upside down roller coasters until I was like a junior in high school. So I still am waiting to have that experience one of these days.
I would 100. I don't want to be the naysayer here, but I'm done with Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster. I love Aerosmith, but that's got to go. We got to get at least be refreshed. At
It
least
needs TLC, but I have a sentimental attachment. Let me have my moment, please.
no, it's fine. But what the thing about Aerosmith, I think, is like it's a good when it came out, it's fine. The theming is good. Aerosmith's great. Maybe one of the first, or at least my first roller coaster that had like a soundtrack when you rode the roller coaster, which was cool, adds to it. But it just, I don't know, it hasn't aged well for me. And I said it once and I'll say it again. If you put it like in a Six Flags, for example, that coaster is not much to it. It's not that great of a coaster. I know it's, I don't want to go on this negative, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Are you saying it's aged as well as Steven Tyler has? Not very well.
It might have aged better than
Okay.
Tyler. He looks like a Muppet. But
It's pretty brutal, man. I love Aerosmith.
me too.
I wish they would have gone like even if they're going to updo it or kind of redo it, go in. I'm going to bring in, I don't know how often you mention this part, but over where we are, I mention it all the time and people absolutely bash me for it. I wish they would do like a Rip Ride Rocket at Universal where you can pick your song.
Yeah. Yes.
So
we talked about that before.
Yeah, let me have that choice that's interactive and fun, make it good.
Pandora has free options. Just make your own, pair with Pandora, partner with them.
Perfect. Yep. Perfect.
Connect it to your Magic Band. Boom.
Those, if we keep those.
Well, people will buy them if they
Yes.
can,
I love Magic Bands. I'm just going to say that. Go ahead.
Me too. I went last a couple weeks back and then I forgot mine and they're not giving them out anymore unless you buy them. And I was like, sad. I don't know. Something about the Magic Band that I liked. I loved getting them in the mail before the trip.
Mhm.
It like just added. And
I just don't want to be on my phone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
that too.
Yeah.
Or have a little plastic card you're going to keep using. But anyway, Johnny, what do you have?
All right. None of my 3 are at all in my top 3. So I just went completely like exclusive. So, but the first one, I'm taking leeway with this one and I'm cheating a little bit. So is Living with the Land. I don't know. It's just something I always have to ride and go to Epcot. I don't know. I like because it's a nice long ride too. So you get the length of it. You get to see all this, just the whole vibe of the thing, and what you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff and knowing that the food goes everywhere. But then how I'm cheating is you get to ride the ride. Then I'm going to jump off that thing. I'm going to plop down at like 20, 25, 30 bucks. I'm going to go behind the seat. I'm going to do the behind the scenes tour. So I get a 2 for 1. And after I do that, even better. I'll just run upstairs real quick and I'll go to the Garden Grill because technically it goes through the ride. So I get to ride the ride, go behind the scenes, and then maybe eat some of the food. So I'm gonna get a nice little afternoon out of that ride.
I like that pick. And I think I leaned a lot towards, and I'll get to my list in a minute, but I leaned a lot towards Epcot rides too. I'm not going to lie, because what are you going to lose mostly? I mean, other than what? Soarin'? We don't have any other, I don't think we have any other variations of Epcot rides anywhere else, right?
Is Test Track?
You could test Cars Land, I guess. It's
Well,
kind
it's
that would be the
Cars.
close.
yeah,
Nice.
but
Sort of,
it's
I guess.
the same type of thing.
It's Test Track on steroids.
Yeah, it's probably a better. It's probably.
It's much better. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's infinitely better. That's a good one though, John, because that one for me represents what Epcot's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's the whole idea of Epcot. I don't need I love Frozen and I'm fine with what they did with it. I'm gonna like Ratatouille, but when you look at Living with the Land, it's so overlooked by people as they enter that park. You know, they just don't go do it.
Mhm.
And when you think about what Epcot was originally supposed to be, something like that would have existed with hydroponics and you know them growing food for the working city that was surrounded by it.
Yeah, right.
Great one, man.
Yep, agreed. And I'm not going to go too much further away from Living with the Land. I'm going to say Spaceship Earth is in my top 3 for sure. I'm not sure, other than Haunted Mansion, if that's not my favorite, maybe one of my all-time, it's definitely one of my all-time favorite Disney rides. And I would hate not to be able to do it again. So that would be the first. Probably the first. I know I'm supposed to kind of go in order, but that would be the one that one just pops into my head immediately. So that's definitely what I'm going with. And I just think, kind of along the same lines as Justin just said, it's something that maybe it didn't capture maybe like Walt's essence of what Epcot should be, but at least capture the essence of what the original Epcot that was built was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And yeah, we don't have too many of those left. So
It's the history of humankind.
yep.
And I don't think there's really an attraction in the world that you can experience like that one, especially in, you know, you're in this massive geodesic dome that is, you know, larger than life. If to be honest, it's probably the most iconic figure on the planet. I mean, when you talk about Cinderella Castle, it's the most Cinderella Castle's, we had an argument about this and I think I won, is the most photographed building on planet Earth. I really do think so. When you talk about 20, 30,000 people a day rolling through there, whether it's in the background or it's the focal point. But I could take a picture of Spaceship Earth and I could take a picture of Cinderella Castle, and you know, 5 out of 10 people are going to go, "Ooh, I like Disneyland too." When I show them Cinderella Castle, and when I show them Spaceship Earth, 10 out of 10 are going to go, "Oh yeah, I've never been to Disney World before."
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but when people are talking, like, forget about the photos. If people were talking about icons, a lot of times you always get the place with, you know, the big golf ball over there in Disney World. Like, everyone knows what it is. Well, technically they don't know what it is, but they know how to describe it in their own way. You know.
For all the kids listening, it's my favorite Disney word. Okay, and you can drive your parents crazy as you walk through any Disney park, and it is my favorite Disney weenie in any park. As you walk up, and is a focal point, and it is called a Disney weenie. So now, as you walk through the parks, kids, you can look at your parents, and go, "Look at the weenie," and have some fun with it.
Exactly. All right, Justin, if you want to bring us to your next pick.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's go fun. Because I want to save iconic for last, because it's one most people probably wouldn't think of. Fun is going to be something you guys are going to be like, really? I don't know. I think everyone here has experienced it. No, I know you guys have. I think, John, you and I talked about it, and that is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say hands down. I was on a show not too long ago with some people, with Craig McFarlane and Big Fat Panda and a couple other people.
Yeah.
And we did this 64 bracket of things. And Mickey and Minnie's made it to the final 4. People were shocked because I think it is one of the most fun attractions Disney has put in any park in the last decade. I will take Mickey and Minnie's definitely over Millennium Falcon, over Smuggler's Run. It may be better than Rise for me, which I know is blasphemy to Star Wars fans. I'm sorry.
No, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but And I love Rise. Johnny and Sarah know that, but I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I don't know if someone had a gun to my head, which one I would have to take. I
But it's
just
so
went,
fun.
I know I just went on it literally for the first time this last trip a couple weeks ago, and it was the only ride in the park I rode twice, and I'm with you. I think it's great.
When you got off of it, Tim, did you not just have a smile on your face? And even as you're riding it, and you're sitting there as an adult, and you're like, it's the new animation. You know, I'm not going to give away any spoilers. People haven't written it. New animation style that we didn't grow up with. None of us here, but I'm riding this thing and I'm just ear to ear grinning the entire time. And I'm bopping along and, you know, I don't know. For me, it was the perfect, if you had to take the great movie ride, which another time I was going, no, you know, and I had my picket. But if you had to take it and you had to put something in, one, we needed something with the Fab Five. I mean, it's long overdue. And two, it's perfect for that park. Some of the attractions in Disney don't fit the park they're in. And I think that one is spot on, right where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think you made a great point. Like, let's think about it real quick. Last 20 years, can you name a better dark ride Disney has put into Disney World? It's not even, I don't even think it's close. Like, what's even close?
It's not. You know? And people are going to say Rise, and people are going to say, okay,
Rise.
For the family fun aspect of things, Rise for me is great. My daughter could care less. My wife could care less. She's never seen a Star Wars movie. But as a family, I can take my mom, I can take our kid, I can take her, I can take our friends. We can all do this together. And it's something that we all relate to. I mean, Mickey Mouse is other than probably, Santa Claus, is one of the most well-recognized figures in the history in the last 100 years of the world. I mean, you're really talking about leading up to World War II and his massive push out into Europe and with propaganda films, stuff like that. He became this massive figure. And now you could take him to third world countries and people are going to go Mickey Mouse. Mm-hmm. And
it blows my mind that we did not have any Mickey
it's crazy.
rides until just now.
It's crazy.
It's kind of weird, right? But it's like, and the other thing about it, I think I'll add is that I think if you're going to compare it to Rise, for example, which one do you think is going to age better? Because I think Mickey's going to age better all day long.
Mickey will be. Rise is too specific.
Yes, very much
because
so.
It takes place unless, I mean, you have to ride it because it's amazing visually and everything. But if you don't have some kind of if you're not into that version of Star Wars with the newer three, then you'll ride it once. It'll be cool, but you need to be invested in those characters instead of if they geared it towards the original trilogy, they might have had a better shot. But the whole Mickey is just for everybody. Star Wars is not for everybody.
No one's wearing Star Wars ears.
Yeah, right.
As they walk around the parks.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I think that Mickey's also designed, and we talked about this with another podcast, I think it's designed for the long run in the sense of it can be easily changed. A few things can be changed out. The projection map is only going to get better, obviously, and you could do different animation styles down the road if you want to. Although I don't think the shorts are going anywhere. I think they're amazing. I think they're going to be very popular for a long time to come. But yeah, I just think I'm with you. That attraction's awesome. Honestly, I didn't even think about that one in this, and I didn't put it on my list, but it's a good pick.
Thank you.
Sarah?
So my second one that I would have to do before it went away forever is the Kilimanjaro Safari. So first of all, it's a fun ride.
Good pick.
Our kids love the zoo. We're members at our local zoo here in Rhode Island. We go constantly when we can. And the first time we took the boys, my little guy fell asleep on me. And it was a downpour, so it was cooling off and lots of the animals were out. But I just remember I didn't even look at the safari. I couldn't tell you what animals we did and didn't see because I was looking at my older son's face, and he was almost 3 at the time. The amazement, he was so excited. He couldn't, all these amazing things. And I just remember watching him on that ride. And for that,
did he have the little camera too?
He did. So
he was taking pictures of himself, the little zoom thing. Every picture was blurry, but he was so excited to take the picture.
So happy, little nugget. And then all these amazing creatures that he doesn't normally see, or our zoo doesn't have, and he can see, in the wild. And then as we got off the attraction, a squirrel ran across the pathway, and he was more excited to see that foolish squirrel than any of the amazing things he just saw on that ride. I'm gonna go with Kilimanjaro.
Fantastic pick. It's the only attraction that will never be the same no matter how many times you ride it in a row.
Somebody just saw a live, was it zebra foal being born last week? Can't plan that. There's no fast pass for that.
This was in the back of my head as one I may have put down. Now that you picked it, I'm glad I didn't, because it's getting some love. I can't speak highly enough for this attraction. I mean, it's the whole premise behind the park. I mean, it is what Animal Kingdom was originally meant to be. When you talk about, this was Walt's vision all along. Walt's vision of the Jungle Cruise was to have live animals. And then they figured out, hey, we can't do that. That's not going to work, because they're not going to be trained to do what we want when we want. But now that vision's realized, 50 years after his death, with the birth of Animal Kingdom. So.
Yep. And much like Mickey, I think that I'm pretty safe in assuming that it's going to age well, because I think anyone's ever going to get sick of that. So it's a good pick. Another one, like Justin said, I didn't think of it either. And that's the only one, right? Disney doesn't have anything like that in any other park. No, I don't think so.
That the safari alone, the size and the scale of that venture that Joe Rohde took on is astronomical. When you talk about the fact that you could fit all three other parks inside of that space is just, I mean, it's unreal. I mean, it's crazy. So of course, it's a great pick. Now, I feel like I should give you a trophy or something. Sarah. That's a good one.
It is a good one. That's two good ones in a row. Yeah, two consecutive good ones from Justin and Sarah. Johnny, a lot of pressure on you now.
Well, my second was Spaceship Earth, so I'm right with it. Like, I can't add anything. Well, I can't do add. I mean, I don't want them to change anything in Spaceship Earth as it is right now. I'm kind of I don't want
maybe the ride vehicles.
So the thing about Spaceship Earth too, John, is one thing, they can extend Spaceship Earth. Like, it can be a longer attraction. So there's a whole nother space above where they can there's more track, and they can run it if they want to. So the whole idea was that they could add on as time progressed and do that. The only thing, John, about Spaceship Earth, I feel so bad for the Paperboy on Spaceship Earth. How does he get no love, dude? He is off in the corner. No one is they turned him around like he got in trouble. I mean, every time I ride that attraction, I'm like, come on, really? You're doing this to my guy used to be front and center, extra, read all about it. So I'm hoping they fix that. But dude, good pick. I mean, look, two people pick it.
I mean, I can't say I don't change anything, but the end. I don't like the end with the, this infinity stars. But I mean, I just like those. Any ride that has that animatronic in it, I'm just a sucker for. I just love that. I just don't want them to change anything. I don't know. It's just.
But imagine, I know you don't want them to change, but let's say they did it as is, but with all state-of-the-art animatronics, and they added at the end our current state of communications, because I think that's really missing, especially, I mean, what we're doing right now, for example, needs to be addressed.
Yeah, they can. I guess they can add on. I just don't want to remove things. I'd rather them, even if they add it on, then do state of the art for the add-on. I don't know. I like all that. I even like in the Tiki Room. I like the clicking that you can hear. I just like that nostalgia old stuff.
Lindsay will never come back on the show.
No. Hey, look, if you guys could stay the night and sleep in one set from Spaceship Earth, where would it be?
Ooh.
Off the cuff, I would say Rome Burning.
Rome Burning? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a thing
that
for the
smell
smells.
would drive you crazy though.
I was just gonna say I have a thing for the smells. I enjoy it, but I think overnight I might.
You might go crazy.
Yeah.
I like the Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah,
I don't know that one. I mean, I've never been over there to see it before. I'm not even super into art, but that. I don't know why that scene always just stands out to me.
It's a cool scene, and I think it's.
I guess because they've always explained.
Amazing.
Maybe because back in school, how did he paint the ceiling? They kind of explained how he did it, but then like you get that visual representation of how he actually did, and you see like how much pain the man must have been in just to laying his on boards all
Yes.
days and days painting, and what it looks like. I mean, it's incredible.
And I was fortunate enough to visit the Sistine Chapel in Italy, and I believe, people can leave comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the tour guide told me that he didn't even start that till he was 71 years old.
Oh no.
Whoa.
I believe. I'm gonna actually fact check that, but I believe that is accurate.
That's pretty
But,
cool, man.
Anyway, that is an awesome scene.
Plus he's a Ninja Turtle, so I mean, it's awesome.
I would sleep in the Phoenician scene.
Okay. Yeah. Thank the Venetians.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would sleep in the I would go for comfort. I'd be on the couch in watching the moon landing. Because I would like to experience that. And then I could turn TV off if it's on replay to start driving me crazy. So pillows, comfortable couch,
I didn't think of that.
That's funny. All right. So Justin, your last pick.
Oh, it's back to me. Okay. All right, go with me on this one.
Wait, no, it's not your last one. I didn't pick mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, hello. Sorry, I was fact checking. But same problem. My number 2 was Living with the Land. So we're back on the same boat.
Literally.
You like what they do for Christmas, Tim?
What's that?
Do you like what they do with Living at the Land for Christmas?
I've seen a little bit of the video. I've not been there for it myself. Yeah.
We did it last year.
We did,
for
yeah.
Christmas.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Me too.
Cute.
I did too.
But you had to ride it at night. During the day, it would have been nothing. But
Yeah, you were
the
early.
lights and everything, it was just something.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
You're used to riding it, and it's just it's a little extra.
A little extra pretty.
Yeah.
They should do some Disney shorts based on Living with the Land. Think what they could do with little characters that live in Living with the Land, and
Yeah.
venture around the different spots. Swim with the fish.
You could have the characters from A Bug's Life go in. Kind of be a tour.
Stop it. That's a great idea.
Can you just see little Princess Ada?
I just got
This
so
is
happy.
a guava.
I got so happy
Oh,
right now.
Evie.
I love it. Back to me?
Yes.
Yeah, Tim's fact checking. He's lacking over there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to embarrass myself once I get the real facts. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, if he was 17, just claim you're dyslexic. That's what I do. So it's
It
good.
was something like that. I got to get to it. But anyway, go ahead. Justin.
So for my last one, I went with iconic. If you listen to Disney Dads, I've talked about this many times, that I think we have all of Walt Disney World, and we have Disneyland, and everything we love about Disney we have because of one attraction. There's only one, and without this we don't have any of it, and that's the carousel. The carousel for me is Walt Disney put into an attraction. I mean, as he would sit on a bench and watch his daughters ride the carousel and eat peanuts, and thought of the idea of having a park that was not only for children but for families, to where they could have fun all together. That's why we have what we have. Without that carousel and without that idea, we aren't even doing the show. I don't get to meet you all. We don't have these fun conversations. Sarah doesn't get to stay the night in Rome is Burning. It's like we don't get to do all that.
Yeah.
And the carousel is one of the most overlooked attractions too. I get so bummed when I see people go to Disney and they go, we don't have the kids, we're not going to ride the carousel. I challenge everyone. Every trip you go to Disney, go and sit on one of those horses. One, that horse you're sitting on is worth more than your house, unless you're like a millionaire. Okay, I get it, whatever. But it's worth more than your house. Two, it's iconic. It's the one attraction that has an individual that is picked to take care of each individual horse and make sure that they are kept up to the standard that you see every day. They're painted, they're taken care of. They're original. I mean, they're fantastic. And it's just such an iconic attraction. And it would probably be, if you all came to me and said, Justin, it's closing, buddy. It's all over. You have to go ride something one more time. As I cry and probably vomit, because I'm so upset, I would go straight to the carousel, and I would just spend that last turn on the carousel, tears flowing, happily ever after playing in the background, and that would be it, man. That would be my last ride of any Disney park.
So Carousel of Progress, also equally amazing. We've talked about Carousel and how it's Walt's baby and it's got his name on it and the World's Fair. And it's just, if you need a break, it's nice, cool air condition. I get that song in my head all the time. I feel like whenever someone complains about their lumbago acting up, I'm like, well, where's Uncle Jimmy? Where's, Uncle Orville, sorry, not Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, just a name.
Yeah. Sarah's on fire today because Carousel's another good pick. Really good pick.
I was kind of tied for my number one between Spaceship Earth and Carousel. And I think Carousel went out just because I enjoy it. I know Johnny enjoys it. The boys enjoy it. I feel like the Carousel of Progress was kind of the predecessor almost of Spaceship Earth. That was kind of more the idea of communication and the history of people and communicating with each other. And Carousel of Progress was once we hit kind of where Spaceship Earth left off, we had this more modern idea, the spinning, that's a little different, but it brings us almost up to modern times. I mean, at this point now we're kind of behind a bit, but not, we don't have flying cars or anything, but I'm always looking for hidden Mickeys. When they parks reopened, they had signs hidden in the Nutcrackers. Welcome back. We missed you. It's just I leave with it in my head all the time. It's my favorite ride in Magic Kingdom.
Good pick. Johnny?
I'm very uneventful. You must have looked at my notes or something.
Uh-oh.
Because mine was the Carousel of Progress as well.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. So
yeah, most of my most of the theme in most of my picks was the length of them, because if it's my last time, I want to be on these rides for a long time. So I like that. But I know, we said this on the pod. That one hasn't been released yet, but I said the same thing. I don't want them to change the Carousel of Progress. Mm-hmm. I like their version of whatever the future was, but then if they do change, then you can't change the first 3 scenes and then try to update the last one, because then you already have a big gap. Then you're just going to have a humongous gap. So then it doesn't go with the flow of the gap is big already, but I don't know. I like them, whatever they thought the future was going to be, like that was going to be. So it's more of just let that just remain how it is. And
you think about it, it really wasn't that far off. Virtual reality headsets, speaking to devices.
It's beautiful. It works out good for us. It's John and Sarah. They have this one son. One of their son is James, which is we don't have a daughter,
little guy.
But kind of works out pretty good for us.
Can I ask you? Okay, hold on. Was this planned?
No.
Was this arranged? Was this an arranged thing? Huh?
No.
Huh? Did you all figure this out a long time ago?
It was serendipitous.
Well, so
if only we had a daughter, we would have worked out perfectly.
The only reason I
Emily,
asked
it wouldn't have been Patricia.
is one of my favorite Disney movies, and some people hate it, some people love it. Is National Treasure. Love National Treasure.
I love that here.
Love it. It's like my wife and I, when we were pregnant with our daughter, my wife and I would watch that every night when we went to bed. That was our thing. Put it on, go to sleep. Comes time to name our daughter. And we're those people, when we built our house, we picked out the colors and the carpet and all that in 15 minutes. We're like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Yeah. We're like, okay. Yeah. We named our kid in 5 minutes. She threw it out one. I threw out one, and they're like, eh. And then all of a sudden it was Riley, and the middle name was Abigail. Well, you have Riley from National Treasure, and then you have Abigail from National Treasure.
Yeah.
It's just I think subliminally that stuff sticks.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I was just wondering, I thought maybe you two would just, you're both humming each other's ear as Sarah was praying, so.
And when we change segments, in future shows, Johnny, can you just stop breaking into It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow?
Yeah. I love it. I love this.
That'd be amazing.
I want to get a fan, that Niagara Falls fan. I just want to get one of those and carry it around the park and see if anybody catches it.
I love it.
Oh, someone would, I guarantee it.
Cosplay, man. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of cosplay, I want to back up a little bit when you were talking about the scene of the Paperboy not getting any love.
Yeah.
I have seen several people, and a lot of people don't understand what the costume is, but they cosplay as the woman from the data bank, the technology, the yellow miniskirt and the high boots.
Yep.
So many people dress up as her, and I was like, I actually get this one. This is not an obscure thing I don't get. But lots of people love her.
Yeah. There's when I was on the Panama Canal cruise. There was a girl from Japan, and it was just her and her mom, and she had a different it was a 14-night cruise. She had a different cosplay outfit every night, and she had even coordinated it with which characters were going to be in certain costumes, because sometimes you have like Captain Mickey, and sometimes he's dressed up like a pirate, sometimes he's dressed up, and she would coordinate this, and I'm like, how big is your suitcase that you brought this all the way from Japan for this 14-night sailing? So, but I think she's like a Instagram person. I didn't get to know her at the time, but yeah, she took so many pictures, but it was so cool, man. It was like every night at dinner, like, all right, what's she gonna be wearing? Everybody's kind of watching the door as she was getting ready to come in. So yeah,
I love that about when Disney fans do that.
It's the best.
Yep. All right, so my final pick is going to be, and I was surprised no one said this, but Hollywood Studios' iteration of Tower of Terror. Because I just love it, and I'm not quite sure there's anything like it, and I don't know. It's a must ride for me constantly, and I would miss it if it was gone. And I love the Twilight Zone. I still watch it on Netflix to this day, and on CBS, the new version. Grew up watching it with my grandfather. Plus, love the thrill, the ride as well. And yeah, so that one would be definitely one I would want to get on at least one more time if I knew the park was closing.
So follow-up question to that, Tim. They've changed the one in Anaheim to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Would you ride that one and just envision it as Tower of Terror?
Well, you can't, because it doesn't have the scenes where it actually goes into the, it does. It's just a tower there. It doesn't have the.
Have you all done the one in DCA?
No.
I heard it's awesome though.
It's fantastic, but yeah, you don't go out in the scenes. It drops you a lot more. You kind of stop in the middle and you see some scenes and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun, but I'll take the Tower of Terror and Disney. Actually, you know what? That's Tim. Thank you. That's a second attraction that I like better in Disney World than I do Disneyland. Cool little fact. Here's something, Tim, for you. If you can find it, it's super cool. And you have to be in the right room. But in one of the rooms you go into where they show the pre-show, okay, there is a letter there for Rod Serling. Okay, Rod Serling was a host of the Twilight Zone back in the day, and it is a check in there made out to him for his voice, or it wasn't actually his voice, but his use of his body in the thing. They got another guy to do the voiceover for the thing, but for his body for the video. So they hid one, as the Imagineers did, as a kind of a cool little thing in one of those rooms.
And that's another reason why I love that attraction. I think Lanty spoke about it on ours. Is that there's just so many Easter eggs every time you go in there, and I don't think Disney will ever couple up with a third party like that again, especially a cool property like the Twilight Zone.
That's what we're gonna miss forever. It's gone.
Yep.
Especially with the new regime in town.
Yep.
We're a
Tower
fan
of Terror forever. Get rid of Peter Pan, as far as I'm concerned.
We're a fan of original concepts and non-IP went. So.
Yep, me too. I'm the same way. I mean, some IPs are fine. There's a reason Iger spent $13 billion overall on certain IPs, but I mean, it's a bit overblown at this point.
Yeah, you wonder like what you consider his reign. Business-wise, his reign was amazing, but
it's fine. Yeah.
He also had a couple of no-brainer moves. Oh, Star Wars. Well, I guess I'll buy that one because I heard that's a decent property to own. Marvel, people seem to like that one.
Yeah, it's
like,
literally.
Okay, I could have done that.
Yeah, it's literally like picking like a kid's artwork. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you pick. You can say that's the winner. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, cool, that one's fine. The 3-year-old did good. We talked about this a little bit not too long ago. It's funny to watch, and this is totally off topic, and I'm sorry. It's funny to watch the Disney regime go like, it's almost like you date the best person ever, okay? And then as you break up, you slowly date, not as people as good,
Settle.
You settle more and more as you go. And all of a sudden, if you look back, man, you start with Walt Disney, and then you move to Roy O. Disney, and then you move to Eisner, and you move to then you move down to Iger, and now Chapek. And it's funny, man. Eisner gets a ton of kind of crud from people, but he did more for the parks than anyone else besides Walt Disney. And then you get Iger, who everyone kind of gave him some nonsense, but he did give us tons of IPs. He gave us Disney Plus. He gave us tons of movies and all kinds of stuff like that. And now you get Bob Chapek, who comes from retail and will yet to be seen. We'll see what happens.
So
I think
Michael,
the next bump I think is going to be good as long as they put Josh Tomorrow in there. I think
that's
it's
the
going to go
highlight.
back up.
That's
Yeah.
you and I talk about this. You know me.
Yeah.
I am a Josh Tomorrow. I'll get a tattoo. The day Josh Tomorrow becomes CEO, I'll get a tattoo. Wait, I'm saying it right here. Okay, I will go that day and get a Tomorrow tattoo. Okay, I'm ready.
The way you see people are excited to see. He's not the CEO, but people are so excited to see him in the parks. He is in the parks, and I think he's kind of got that He's got a little bit of Walt Disney in him. He likes to. He's there for the cast members. He's there for the people. It's just, I think his
His
going to happen sooner than later.
Parks alone is such a huge difference. Huge.
I mean, even some of the stuff you see some of the stuff they opened up, he's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Chapek's not always. I mean, he was there for Avengers Campus and stuff, but he's not. He should be on stage every time too. You always see Josh there.
Well, because Josh understands that when you spend time with the people.
Mm-hmm.
That you learn what works and what doesn't work. You can look at a piece of paper and you can get reports all the time, but it's being feet on the ground and shaking hands and asking questions that you learn. And the day I saw Josh Tomorrow hugging cast members when they got let go because of COVID, I'm like, dude, I'm in that guy's I am your number one fan, dude. I will scream your name to the top of the mountains and I will cheer you on. And I'm not a Chapek fan. I have not met Chapek personally, but I've been in the same room as him. And I did not like his mannerisms. I wasn't really big fan. When I did the Panama Canal Cruise, we were the first passenger vessel through the new locks, and he came on board, him and a bunch of other Disney execs for a presentation. Dude, the other execs shaking hands, coming around, meeting people. He stood in the corner. He did not talk to one person until the photo op took it, left.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't been a big fan of
I can see that about him.
Yeah.
And just going back to Michael Eisner real quick, because I have my obsession with Michael Eisner.
Me too.
If Euro Disney would have just went better, his entire run at Disney would have been amazing. I just think when the budget cuts were forced and all that kind of thing, it just really threw him for a loop. But man, he cared about the parks and he put money into the parks and had cool new ideas for the parks. And not only that, but I learned today that he was an exec at, I believe, ABC.
Mm-hmm. ABC before.
Yeah, when they decided to sign Schoolhouse Rock On, so he was involved in that. So I give him a thumbs up for that as well.
He one of the things too about him is he had zero support from the top. So he's surrounded in just chaos when it comes to Roy Disney and it comes to I've gone stupid all of a sudden. Oh man, what's his face? Anyway, he had no support at the top, and it was literal chaos in the Disney company for a long time. And so he did all this without the help. Here's the two things: Euro Disney, and then Tim. I love it. Huge fan. He needed to have a little smaller infatuation with Roger Rabbit. He thought Roger Rabbit was going to be the next Mickey Mouse. We're going to put it everywhere. So yeah.
I mean, it's a very different style of animation. You mixed live action with animation at the same time, and that was kind of this new and unheard of thing.
Yeah, the first time you saw it was the Alice shorts with Walt Disney. So he kind of went back to Walt's heritage and love for this innovation and brought it to a whole new meaning. So
they never got to the sequel that they wanted to make, but I guess it was another thing that was just going to never happen again because of money and licensing
and
rights.
Spielberg, I think the whole Spielberg thing. It was just.
Plus, I would imagine.
I had a crush on Jessica Rabbit too. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Oh yeah.
Who didn't?
I didn't.
Where's my Kathleen Turner?
I don't know how you didn't, Sarah. I mean, everybody.
So, Sarah, you can. We're in a circle of trust here. You can admit it. It's okay. Maybe you had a
That's right.
crush on Roger Rabbit.
It's the trust tree. Okay, it's all good.
It makes you laugh.
Little stutter. Please.
I can never do that voice. Anyway,
Plus,
all right.
Lindsay.
What is it? Yeah, Lansing might know how to do it. Yeah. All right. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, Justin is also a travel agent. Specifically a Disney World travel agent or a Disney travel agent, Justin? Or
So
just-
yeah, I mean, so I specialize in Disney cruises, stuff like that, but I can do anywhere in the world. But Disney, Universal, all cruise lines, Sandals, beaches, all those great places, man. But yeah, Disney's definitely my specialty. I mean, so I grew up in the Disney parks. I was there all the time, and I still go quite often. We don't live far, so I enjoy planning Disney trips. Because, I do get to see things that some families might not get to see as often, some little tips and tricks and hints and how do maybe ways you can enjoy your vacation that you might not think of, at the time.
So I guess I'll throw one question at you.
Yeah.
How often do you just get that family that is completely lost and
A lot.
Okay.
More so after COVID than I did before, actually. So let me explain. I think the one question really people have about using a Disney travel agent is this. Booking trips has become relatively easy with the internet and being able to get online and, see everything and stuff like that. COVID has made it to where people want someone in their corner. So let me explain, and not all agencies are like this, but my agency is, okay? We have a few different agents, and the way we do it is your cost to use us for any Disney vacation is $0. It costs you an additional nothing to use a travel agent. Disney pays the agency, and also your trip costs no more than if you booked it on your own. It's going to be the same exact price. We don't get great, better deals with Disney. We don't get, whatever deals Disney's offering at the time, that's what we get as well. But the thing is, it costs you no extra money, and you get someone who takes care of all the details. All you do is show up and have a good time. And if you don't use an agent, you're paying for an agent. You may not know it, but the money that would go to an agent, to a small business, to an individual business, is just going right back into Disney's pocket. They do not discount your vacation just because you do not use a travel agent. So my thing to people out there is, if you've never used an agent, use one. You're supporting small business, especially after COVID. You're supporting, households that it's maybe that's their only income or their base income, and you're supporting businesses that may only have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 agents, or you're supporting businesses that have hundreds of agents. The point is, keep the money going into the communities and not into the company that just yesterday was valued at $202.4 billion. I think they're going to be okay. So I really do stress to people, if you've never done it, reach out to an agent. It really is worth it. Find someone locally, get a hold of me. I mean, I'm happy to even answer questions you have. The other question I always get, and this one's a great one, and people, if you're listening to this podcast, this is the question that is on your mind right now. I don't want to use an agent. I enjoy doing my ADRs. I enjoy planning my trip. That's cool. You know what? You're my favorite type of client. You can be as hands-on as you want. You can be as hands-off as you want. I have clients that they literally text me or they email me and they say, I want to take myself, my husband, our 3 kids. Here's the ages. These are the dates we want to go. I send them quotes. And then from there, they just show up and have a good time. And then I have clients that say, hey, I just want to support you, which we appreciate you so much. And they say, but don't worry about anything. I got it covered. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm here if you need me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly texting people. I'm here. I'm still here. I still love you. Okay. So you can get a hold of me. I'm here. But it is nice. I worked with John and Sarah.
Yeah, we didn't have to wake up that day.
I was about to say, there's no better feeling than on your ADR day than not waking up at 6 a.m. Am I right?
Oh, it's beautiful. So I teach right now. I'm a teacher at school. And a friend of mine is also a fellow annual pass holder, and she knew my day was coming up, and what did you get? What did you get? And I was like, we got everything. What time did you wake up? And I was like, oh, you get up early.
What'd they say? Are they like,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get up at 6 a.m.
You
We're
may
on
get
there.
somebody else from, I'm sorry.
No, I'll say we get up at 6 a.m. We take care of it all. Like, you don't have to do it. And I send a nice little email and say, hey guys, congrats. I got everything you wanted at the times we wanted. Have a great day. I'm excited for you guys. And it's fun, man. And also, you know what the best part too is, Tim, is I get to interact with people and I get to meet people and people of a like mind. You know, it's people that want to travel. It's people that I don't get people on their worst day. Being a travel agent's cool because I get people that are like, I want to go someplace fun and I'm going to get to, this person's going to help me get there. You know what I mean? Which is a really, really cool time to get to know people and interact with people as well. I could never work at like a call center for like a computer company, you know, when people are calling just with problems. So I get the fun part, man. So I really do stress, use an agent. If you've never done it, reach out to someone locally, reach out to me, just try it once. I do promise you that it is it really is hassle free. It makes your vacation where if you're in the parks, let's say John's in the park and something happens with his ADR coming up at 6 o'clock, right? Can't cancel a same day reservation. He texts me. He goes, hey man, we just can't make it to dinner. Anything you can do? I go, have fun. I call Disney. And I take care of it for him, you know? And I just text him and say, taken care of, have a great time, buddy. You know what I mean? His time in the park is not spent on hold with Disney. Take, for example, my day 2 days ago. Tim, I love Disney, but sometimes I want to throw my phone. 2 days ago, Boo Bash tickets went on sale. I was on hold for 6 hours for my clients.
I was just going to say this because I saw your updates.
Yeah, 6 hours until I was able to get through and get Boo Bash tickets for all of my clients that wanted to go to this party. Yep. So that's the kind of stuff we do that you don't have to worry about. And I really do appreciate it. If you do want to reach out, and guys, I really appreciate you asking me this. Do you want to reach out? My email is Justin, Justin, at awaywithmetravel.com, awaywithmetravel.com. And just reach out, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on that. I told you I'm long-winded, Tim. I'm sorry, man.
That was great. Now I gives everybody a synopsis what kind of goes on. I'll just ask one more question.
Sure.
Kind of in the same vein as the last one. So you get people that, you get both people that know what they want to do, people that don't want to know what they want to do. Now, if I want to call and I just have zero idea, other than the fact that Disney is a place to go with kids, how do you handle it? Like, what do you just? Is there usually a series of questions you kind of ask to try to get a feel for what these people like, or do you just kind of look at it and go, well, I'm just going to make sure I get on the most popular rides and the fast passes? And
you may have figured this out after I think we've been doing this almost an hour. I'm a decent talker. So I just talk to people, man. I just, you know what I mean? I just, I'll sit and figure out the main things are figuring out with a new family, with someone who's never been to Disney or someone who's just, kind of a little bit, I do get people who are a little bit flustered with the process, because if you don't know what you're doing, it can be kind of, what do you mean I have to be on at 60 days to do ADRs at 6 a.m.? What do you mean I have to make park reservations? What do you mean and I just talk to him. I say, listen, first thing I tell every guest when they go, you're not going to see everything. Okay. Slow down, create memories, and let's hit the key points. Okay. And I'll talk to them and I'll figure that out. One thing I do for all my clients, I send them in a personalized travel itinerary as well. So they get each and every day kind of what to do, what's going on, what your plans are, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll just talk to them. And if they have young kids and they have, let's say 3 days, well, right off the bat, we know that 2 of the parks are going to be Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, because they're 2 of the best parks for younger kids. I'm not going to send them over to Epcot instantly. Yeah. If you have a 3 and a 4-year-old, I will tell the parents, would you like a day for you? Because if you want a day for you, then we will do Epcot, and I will teach you how to do pin trading, and I will teach you how to do, going around and doing KidCot. And doing all the fun stuff, downloading the My Disney app and playing the games through it. Like, I'll teach you how to do this with the kids to where they're having fun as well. But it's just asking questions. It's just figuring out what works, because what works for one family with a 3 and 4-year-old does not work for the other one. They might have adventure. My kid was, John, my kid is hands up on a roller coaster at 3, like, woo! So I'm going to Hollywood Studios, dude. I'm going to have fun on Tower of Terror. You know what I mean? But they might have a kid that's not that adventurous, that Tower of Terror and Hollywood Studios doesn't work for them at this time. So I always ask that. I always ask, how important is food to you? Because look, I ought to wear a shirt every day that says I go to Disney for the food, because that's what I do. I mean, like if I don't go to California Grill every trip, there's something wrong. I like my popcorn, and I enjoy Disney food. If food is not a huge priority for a family, then, I might select ADRs that I wouldn't do otherwise, or recommend them. I have eaten almost everywhere on property. I've got like 3 or 4 out there, and I'm excited to do Space 220, which we figured out's opening later this year. Woohoo! Finally. But yeah, man, I just ask questions. Just ask questions. Get to know that family, and they know. I probably drive John and Sarah crazy. I like to meet over Zoom. I don't like to do phone calls. I like to be able to look at you, and we figure it out together. We hammer it out and, go through ideas and figure out what's going to work best for you. I know we were between Boathouse and Wine Bar George when we were chatting last time. Yeah. And it's like, oh, dude, hands down, Wine Bar George. I love Boathouse, but Wine Bar George. And here's the reasons, and those are bottles of wine that, that I did last time I was there. But it was great. That
was a good reason.
Yeah.
Always a good reason.
Yeah, man.
All right. Johnny and Sarah, do you have anything else for Justin?
No.
I'm a fan. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. We're going to get out of here. But before we do, just want to have Justin tell us a little bit about his podcast and where we can find them.
Yeah. So you can find us anywhere that you can find podcasts. You can also go to DisneyDadsPodcast.com. Find us there. All of our shows, links to shows are there. We got a couple different shows that we've done throughout the years. Been around about 4 years, and great community, great group of people. Family first, fun, interactive podcast to where we do different topics, and really it's never been about the host. It's never been about us. It's been about the community of people that we've been lucky enough to get to know throughout all these years. Through vacations. Stupid COVID, man. We had the Disney Dads podcast Disneyland trip coming up this past year, and we missed that one. But we did the Disney Dads cruise the year before, and we had almost 100 people come, and it was just a blast. I mean, creating these memories with people, and that's been the most rewarding part of doing this, of being in this podcasting community. So yeah, you can find us Disney Dads Podcast. If you want to join us on Facebook, Disney Dads Podcast Facebook family is over there, and yeah, man, it's a great group of people. John, let me do this too real quick, because John pretty much, dude, he rocks and rolls over in one of our groups. We have the Sorcerer's Running page, and it is a place where literally it's not just made for runners. It's for people to go and motivate each other. It's for people who may be sitting on the couch after COVID, have gained a few pounds, and they say, you know what, I'm ready to make that change. I'm ready to take that first step, and I just need some motivation. And that page is all that is. I mean, people posting their runs, posting their workouts. And it's been great to see people who literally have changed their lives over the last 4 years, 3 years, and have gotten healthier and feel better. And it's so rewarding. So check that Facebook group out. And I got to thank John so much, because John is fantastic on that. And he's a great runner. I always say I would love to do a Run Disney event with him, but he would have to carry me. I would look like Yoda on his back, as he's going through. So there's no way I could keep up, buddy.
It's a bad obsession. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Well, it's bad in the sense that I have to do it, where I feel.
Well, you motivate so many people, man. You might not know that, but you motivate so many people.
Yeah, that group's really good. I like being a part of that group a lot. And it's just that main, once you get, if you join, and once you get in, there's just that main core group of all of us that are just
constantly building up
on any, people throw stuff, you throw them, and even just a little nice job or what, it just goes, that stuff goes a long way in that community.
Yeah, man,
it's good.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening as usual. And thank you, Justin, for being on the show today.
Thank you. I can't say thank you enough for allowing me to come hang out, chat a little Disney. Here's some amazing, it was to be honest, a quite depressing topic that we turned to something fun. But to do our top 3 things we would ride if the world was closing. Luckily enough, we're back open and we're having fun. But I want to thank you all so much. And I am, look, anytime I would love to come back, chat Disney with you all and hang out. So really appreciate it. Thank you all.
We also appreciate it and thank you. And once again, thanks everyone for listening. And we will talk to you guys next week.